Back at our usual location. What is going on, everyone? How are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. And today we're here with episode number 39 of Free to Play to Main, a series where I was a free-to-play account, and I'm slowly working on becoming a main account. Right now, I am 3 days away from needing another bond, so that's on a list of things that I have to do. Basically, right now, it is very late at night. This coming morning, I am about to head to Nebraska, which is a decent drive. I will not be the one driving. One of my friends will, which is very nice for me because I can get in some RuneScape gains, but I'm going to be away from the computer for probably about 4 days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we come back Wednesday. It's not bad. I'll be back very late on Wednesday, but I still am going to have to get some gains. It's a long car ride. Mobile is going to be the way to go. So basically, I have some potions bought right here. As far as ideas of what I want to do, baseline, just, I'm not going to put anything in stone because the car ride is going to kind of determine it, how I'm feeling. Got 5k potions here. I definitely want to work on my herb lore. Also, agility is very low, and that is no content at all. So I guess if I can get some of that out of the way while I'm on a car ride, why not? Then in addition to that, I have pest control points that I'd also like to get. So the bank currently is 77.8 mil, which is very nice, and we're going to look to build on that once I get back. But for the time being, I am just going to take as many screenshots as I can, and when I come back, I will explain what I have done. I honestly don't know how well this is going to go. This is going to be the most I've ever played mobile, so hopefully I can keep up on it and really start to enjoy mobile. And here I am to commentate over my experience on the trip. The trip was good, in case anyone was wondering, but also the gains were just as good. So I started off getting 65 herb lore along the way. The car ride was a little rough, half the time I didn't have signal, maybe a little less than half, so I couldn't get gains the whole time, but definitely made do. Ended up getting that herb lore up to 70, which was the goal kind of all along with it. I definitely dropped a few mil into this skill at least. Definitely a little cash sink, but something that was needed, and eventually I'll need 78 for Chambers of Zarok. I then went on to get a Void Melee Helm, 200 points coming in, and the only other things I really have on my list here are the Mage Helm and also getting the Elite version of both the top and bottom. Full melee looking good, obviously, and then I started my agility grind after that. I started at 62, so this is the first level of 63 that I got, and then at that point I did run out of my bond during the trip like I talked about, so 4.1 mil was dropped into that. Bonds have been kind of decreasing over time because of the Twitch Prime membership deal, I think. If you didn't know, check that out. I also then went and bought some broad bolts and amethyst bolt tips, which if you combine them, you get some pretty good fletching XP that's somewhat AFK, and it doesn't cost too much money. So the XP per hour there is just really sick, so I had to buy the ability to do that, which was 300 Slayer points. And then the last screenshot, I guess I missed the level somehow, but I had hit 66 agility, which is where I had to end off that trip. So here we are getting done with another lap. This is the first clip I've actually recorded since coming back from my Nebraska trip. Got a little bit of a cold, so still working through that one, but I am close to 67 agility, and I will work on that tomorrow. But for now, I'm kind of done with this. I've done a decent bit throughout the car ride back home today, and I don't feel like doing any more. It's kind of just been all I've done recently on my trip, so I think I'm going to be good for agility for a little bit. Next up, I'm actually just going to go do a little bit of thieving, considering I'm kind of working on total level, and thieving is really quick and really low at the moment, so I'm going to just go chill, do some arty nights. Blackjacking is better, but god, do I hate blackjacking. I'd rather do bad things to myself, so I'm just going to go do a little bit arty nights, and probably tomorrow I think I might come back and go pretty hard at agility, try to get closer to 70, but just cannot be asked right now. So I think this is going to be all the thieving I'm going to do for a hot second. I am up to 65 thieving. Don't really think it unlocks me anything in particular. I know I have to get to 70 plus for a master step. I'll check exactly what it is. So correction, actually it is 72 for the elite and 85 for the master. So I guess eventually I have to get it pretty high, but for right now I think I've had to drop a couple due to that elite step. So kind of work on that. What I did just realize, and I know it sounds awful, but I'm not mad about it at all. Basically, before I went on this trip, I was doing as much as I could on this account, and I just didn't have time to fit in the Kandarin hard diary before I did all this agility. While it's kind of annoying. I just really never had time on the trip or an ability to be able to go and do this. So what I have to do is I could get 75 smithing, but that's going to take me over a couple hours. And, you know, I got my cat for a reason, so I think I'm going to put him to use, try to get a +5 boost and do the Kandarin Hard Diary, so then I can actually do faster agility, because while I have trained a decent bit up until this point at 66, still got a ways to go at this point. Alright, so there we go. Just got another badge of gold bars and also 71 smithing. 1750 total level. I was going to just boost up 5 levels, but I figure I'll get a couple, probably get up to like 73, and then hopefully it should be pretty easy to be able to get that boost. So 69 farming coming in. I think this will be the only one that I get on this this route right here. Would appear, so I think I'll be 10k off by the time I get done, but I got up to 73 smithing, and I think that's where I'm going to end it. So little tip, if you're starting diaries, which I, you know, I'm just starting to get into, take a quick little look through and see if you have to plant anything for them, so you can do that ahead of time, because so often I get halfway through the diary, I'm about ready to finish it up, and then I realize that I'm going to have to wait a couple hours or even maybe a half day for something to grow. So there we go, 76 smithing coming in, and an adamant spear as well. So that is all of the easy, medium, and hard diaries done for the Kandarin diary. Happy to have it done, and now once I collect my rewards, I can teleport on over to Sears. Talking to the Wedge, let me drop these bowls and get ourselves some of that good rune crafting XP. I will continue to work on other diaries. Some of note that I'm going to look towards is Falador, Artie, Zarok, and we'll see where we go from there, but I definitely want to do a little bit on that. Throwing all these lamps onto rune crafting, we'll see where we can get. Ooh, this is going to be pretty decent. I guess we'll just throw it on agility then, since, you know, I mean, 15k agility XP is actually going to get me a level, so that's pretty useful. 49 rune crafting, 67 agility coming in. Happy with both of those. 1755 total, and now I can teleport to the Sears Bank with the Camelot tabs or the teleports. Either way really works. Time to work on a little bit of agility and a little bit of thieving. Alright, so it's been a while up to this point. I'm at 69 thieving, 69 agility, and 69 farming, all of which we're going to get 70. So 70 agility coming in, that gets me the Polnovich course. The Taverley dungeon shortcut's going to be pretty useful, and I can also do Saradome and God Wars, which is something we will check out in the future. This course actually still is the best at 70 for a little while because of the Camelot teleport if you have that unlocked. So check the health of this palm tree real quick, get a 70 farming as well. Poison ivy bushes, which I won't be doing any of, but we get to round off yet another stat. The only stats that I won't have now up to 70 consist of rune crafting, wood cutting, and hunter. And hunter, I'm just going to get up with birdhouses. Rune crafting, I don't plan to get up until I want to do certain diaries. And wood cutting is just kind of like a side skill, honestly. I could AFK that whenever I wanted to. I just would much rather do a lot of other skills that are more prominent and useful for the account. So, and the last level 70 stat coming in right now, that is 70 thieving, and I can pickpocket paladins. However, I'll be staying here at the Artie Knights. So bought the top, bought the boots, now I have just the legs to go, and I finish off my graceful set. Happy to have it, but now I think I'm going to go move on to Chambers of Zarok, which is also known as Raids 1. Karen's kind of had a little rework lately, but basically once I get through there, I can go right on over here. I got to go through a little maze kind of to get up into this top area. And eventually once I talk to someone back here, I can then have a shortcut from right here to here. But the first time you kind of got to just run it. This is where we enter Raids 1. I'll do a little bit more explaining when I get there about what Raids is all about. I know in these videos I like to kind of give it a little bit of a guide format, but Raids is honestly, they're just too much to go through, where I'll just give you some of the basics, and from there you can run on your own, because if I actually tried to explain all of Raids in this video, we would go quite a ways. So just combined a Kraken Tentacle and a Whip to get an Abyssal Tentacle. Basically this is just an improved version of the Whip, but you only have 10,000 charges on it. It does last quite a while, but basically every 10,000 charges you have to put another Whip into it to get another 10,000, so some input costs there, but definitely just going to be worth it for Raids. So first time getting that on this account. I'll have to buy another Whip for Slayer type activities, and I'll use this whenever appropriate for bossing. So what Chambers of Zarok is basically, it's just a combination of bossing rooms and puzzle rooms that you have to do. The total bosses are about 7 or 8, and the puzzle rooms I think are about 6. It's just a combination of those, and once you learn each one of those individually, you can kind of combine it and then get to Ulm, which is always the final boss where you actually get decent loot, or in my case, not so much. Alright, so I now have 3 raids KC, so that is very good. I do not have any loot because it's kind of rare, but in the background you will see that I have my alt account. That is here because whenever you raid, if someone in the group is able to, you kind of just have an extra account in the raid that makes potions and does the minor science stuff for you, and since I'm not bad at raids, I took that on for myself. If any of you guys have like 100 KC and would like to raid with me sometime, feel free to leave some RSNs down below. It'll probably be free for all if I don't really know you that well. Just good old fun stuff. Definitely want to grind some more Chambers of Zarok in the future, but at the moment I just don't have anyone on that I can really go with. So since I have the gear for it and kind of just have a miscellaneous bunch at the moment, I think I'm going to go on over to Zulrah. Just a theory, could be personal best coming in here. Kind of feels like it. We will we'll see where we're at exactly. Yes, 138. I think my previous best was 147, so pretty good to see. 387 KC, love seeing that climb. And as always, on the prowl for a pet, passively of course. Just kind of hoping. So my Chambers of Zarok KC is up to 8 at this point. I probably got about maybe 400, 500,000 total worth of points that we've seen during this trip. Every time you do a Chambers of Zarok raid, basically, the chance of your team getting a piece of loot is about 1 in 400k points or so, and you average maybe on a 4-man team 70, 80k, something like that, just generally speaking. So at this point, I've probably done about 500k points with squads, and still nothing, but that's, I mean, it's not crazy to go unlucky here, especially if you're an Iron Man. That can be even worse because you're only averaging like 20, 25k points per raid. So pretty rough stuff, but I'm not going to sulk too much. I think right now I'm going to go and finish the rest of this Vorkath task so I can move on from the blue dragons that I have. New personal best coming in, 147. I think I improved on that maybe a second, maybe. Not all too certain, but I have 7 more blue dragons left to kill, and as usual on this account, tearing it up with range 370k until 98, and just steadily moving forward in that regard. So almost done with this pretty long task. Never thought I'd make it back here, but it is nice to be here. Steve, it's been a while, my man. 172 aberrant specters, real easy. I have an elite clue in the bank. A little bit of a loot tab here. I have 7 mil about in loot that I'm going to sell off. I got 7 mil in total from 51 Vorkath kills and another 4.05 mil from Zulrah, bringing me to about 12 mil, and then I got another 1 mil in miscellaneous stuff from Chambers of Zarok. So covers the last little bit of PVM that I have done. No rare jobs to speak of, but still getting up there in the cash and still working on it at the moment. Going to buy another whip since I had to sacrifice a whip earlier for a tentacle. So easy aberrant specters task coming in. Ended up getting about 4, I think, superior, so it was pretty fun overall. And 54 black dragons, which means I'm going to go give KBD a visit. I had to think about that, but yes, that's what I'm going to do. Yes, KBD. Indeed. Just happy to be here, honestly. I think that one of my favorite parts about doing clue scrolls at the moment is building all these stashes and then just forgetting every single time to throw my items away in it. Happens quite a lot and is a problem currently, but this elite clue is not. Actually, it is 71k. That is very, very rough for an elite clue. But so finished off my task of about 50 KBDs. Nothing to see, obviously there. But moving on to 135 fire giants, where about 2 or 3 tasks away from moving on to the Abyssal Bludgeon as well. On my Slayer task, if you're wondering, someone from the stream donated a whip that I am going to thus drop to the stream because again, I don't take anything on here, but I'll help you boys if I can. Oh my god, 246 black demons coming in, which means a fair bit of demonic gorillas are going to be in our future. So, yeah, 250, that's a pretty good shot at a Zanite. Could definitely use that for the bank. So, ready to go get some loot. But first, I have to change up the gear setup a little bit. Not really sure, don't know what the drop rate of this shield left half is, but I can't imagine it's anything good that I'd like to know, so we'll just continue on with the task like nothing really happened, of course. So, got a Dragon Boots ornament kit. I've just gotten to the point where I don't record hard clues sometimes now, because I'm sad that every one of them ends up being 40k, but this is 160, so that's something. Now I got a gold line through my boots. Looking good. Looking good. Alright, so as I sit here and mindlessly hit this demonic gorilla, I did just get a Zonite shard. Just picked it up off the ground, recorded the clip, but I was playing the sweet tunes of Post Malone in the background. So, you know, shit happens. Got myself another 11.5 mil, and just going to throw it on in the bank and let it sit there for a little bit. Don't have any upgrades in particular that I'd like right now. So, just going to hang out here and, you know, obviously go for our second one this task. Why not? Why? So I get all these people just talking to me, telling me how lucky I am on my account and how I don't deserve some of the drops, but, you know, I've killed 300 demonic gorillas, so I think getting 3 Zonite shards is the only way to really go about that. I don't know how that's really all that lucky, but, you know, 35 mil in the time I should have probably gotten about 11.5 isn't too bad, I wouldn't say. I do I do these hard clues so you guys don't have to. That's why I do them. And there you go. That's I mean, that's about your average hard clue, about 90k coming in. So not too upset with it, but probably could have gotten those rune items and about 5 kills of demonics. So finish off my demonic gorillas task. In total, I killed 242 and got 17.1 mil in loot. So not too bad. Obviously some input costs there, but it's a fair bit added to the bank. And for task 190, I'm going to go to my friend Duradel and maybe get a. Okay, it's hoping for boss task, but 81 Suquas, sure, my man, whatever you want. So, easy Suquas task coming in, got a nice little cash shack I'm looking at, and Duradel can hit me with another one. Okay, 35 KBDs, that's cool, I'll do that, sounds good. Go work on that kill count. Gonna see what we can get on this task, just finish off a Trolls task, and Duradel still hasn't done anything nice for me, so 130 cow fights, we'll move on and close in even closer to 90 attack. Currently, Duradel's not really working with me. 3 straight canceled tasks, and that ends up being worth it. 103 Cave Kraken coming in. Haven't done any yet on the account, and I am close to 89 Slayers, so happy to be able to get in on that. We'll be hitting 90 magic as well, apparently, on this task, so that's a good little milestone. We're also very close to 98 range and 90 attack, all 3 levels of which I'm hoping to get by the end of this video. So, Cave Kraken, here I go. A little southwest of Piscatoris, up here we have the Kraken Cave. It used to be right next to Neve's Cave, like a year and a half ago maybe, I'm not sure on the time frame, but at some point they changed it, now it's over here, and all I'll be doing is running a basic mage setup, but instead of using Rims, I'm using Corels because the mage defense bonus is actually more worth it here than the mage offensive bonus, just kind of due to the way that magic works in the game. What I have to do is use this magic shortbow to bring up these 4 tentacles on the side, and then you can attack the main form of the Kraken. And I have about 100, I think 103 of these to go. I could extend this task, but it's kind of one that just gets boring after a while, so I'd rather not, I think, but I do like coming here for the pet chance and a little bit of cash. Example kill coming in, you can pray mage if you want to reduce a little bit of damage, but I do that typically at the end of my trips, bring up all 4 of these little whirlpools, throw on your mage, and just give them a good beating, and it's that easy. You hit pretty constant, pretty high numbers. You could actually decide to not even bring the Kraken up by not hitting all 4 of the tentacles. If you only hit 1 of the tentacles, you can still attack the Kraken underground. You cannot kill him, but you still get XP as if you were killing him, so it's like the best way to splash in-game. So I now have that unlocked, which is pretty nice. Now, obviously, you can't really do that in a regular world. You have to be in an instance, or else people are just going to crash you. So if you die not paying attention, that's kind of the rough part about it. But other than that, it's a pretty good option. 1 KC, though, and moving on up. And 90 magic coming in there. I have 33 Kraken left, and I've also just gotten a elite clue. Feels good to be back. I haven't done Kraken on any of my accounts in quite a while, so I like the little passive amount of GP that I make while doing this so far. In the 70 kills, I've gotten 1.6 mil in loot without any rares, obviously. So that's, I mean, it's pretty sizable. That's the nice part about high-level Slayer. You start getting a lot of good money even on tasks that may not seem like it, I guess, inherently. Back-to-back bad tasks from Castilia, so that's it's quite a rare one for me, but 111 lesser demons, we can rock that. That's fair enough. Also forgot I had this nice little elite clue in my inventory for Cool 300k, a lot of that coming from the alkables, but I guess they're all alkables, really, aren't they? Crystalia's been rough so far tonight. We will see if that continues. Yep, of course it does. 113 mammoths, try again. And I think after this many cancels, I really do want to leave the wilderness, but I'm going to try for one last one. Okay, bandits, that's fine. Whatever gets me up to 90 attack, that'll do. 15k XP away. So far, I've been a little impatient with my Wildy Slayer task, canceling a lot of them, and this will go into the bunch of which I'm canceling. Basically, I'm one task off of 90 attacks, so Ice Giants, we'll do them. Hanging out up here in the tundra right now, about to get 90 attack, and then I'm going to switch on over to strength for a little bit. For most people, as I usually say, I would recommend getting defense up, but for me, trying to keep that down so I can be a lower combat level eventually when I go to PK, once I kind of get the urge for that. So for that reason, I am not going to be training defense, and will continue with strength going forward. But for now, I'm going to go see how much money I can make at Revs, and where we will finish off this bank at. And there it is. God, jeez. 98 range. Dude, I'm just the worst, aren't I? I'm just the worst at getting levels. I just recorded the outro. I thought I was done. I didn't record it. It didn't happen the way I thought it would. I had to go to the Chaos Druids and the Wildy just to go get a little bit more XP because I got slapped out at Revenants. I was getting away from the team, but I ran out of stamina.
Well, you don't got the stamina, you're lacking the stamina.
Because I forgot to drink my stamina, and that ended up being the death of me. So, the bank is up to 51 mil, got a lot of stuff, not a lot of gear. I mean, you know, obviously a lot of money in these two right here. But going forward, bank's exactly where I want it to be. The total level as well is just absolutely insane. I will be working a little bit more on like stuff like maybe rune crafting, and possibly some hunter and thieving going forward. But for the most part, I like where my skills are at. I like where my bank is at. Going forward, I am going to be focusing more on quests, achievement diaries, and a little bit of Karen favor before I finally get to the late stage PBMing. So, if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure to leave a like. Anything you want to tell me, leave it down below in a comment. And if you want to see more of me outside of just YouTube, there are ways to do that down below in the description. Twitch and Twitter, make sure to hit them up. With that said, though, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and oh boy!